Hello and welcome, everyone. We're so grateful that you're here. Thanks for watching the sermon. And I just love what Deb and Paco had to share about just really healing into allowing being supported. I have Hannah here and Danny, unionists, and we're so, yeah, what would you like to share? Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I love today's sermon. I feel like it was really spot on for what I'm moving through, like they always are. And it really spoke to yeah, just the fact that like failures aren't the end of the world. Failures like don't define you. And at the end of the day, failures are really just lessons to take you deeper into your relationship with God and deeper into like the embodiment of who you are, like your divine self. And yeah, this is something that I've been working on for a while, is really like using mistakes or lessons, or mistakes as lessons instead of seeing them as failures and mistakes. Um, and so I really, really loved this sermon today. I felt like it was really powerful. And yeah, just really capped off like something I'd been moving through of like yeah, how like even when, I may mess up or not do something like that's perfect, it's still teaching me and supporting me and yeah, just aligning further with like, the loving choice and the loving um side of the coin. So I really, really enjoyed it today.
Yeah, me too. I feel like, often when we make mistakes or when we fail, like we tend to feel guilty, and we tend to feel like, oh, like I did something wrong and something is gonna happen now, or, we go and, start feeling afraid. But the point, like what came up to me also is like the Course in Miracles and how it tells us that there is no such a thing as guilt, like um we're here to learn and we're always going to make mistakes, or else how do we know that we are making a mistake? I feel like what matters the most is that when we see that we made a mistake, that we learn from it, right? Like, so we don't repeat it, so it doesn't become a pattern, right? I feel like that's the key in the ascension path and in life overall, that like, all right, like this is something that happened to me, and so I'm gonna see what changes I need to make. I'm gonna see what I need to adjust in my life so I don't fall into the same, trap, so I don't fall into the same situation or pattern that is not gonna help me move forward, because the goal is always to move forward. It's always to keep ascending. So by having a beautiful, disciplined inner work, we can recognize, the mistakes, see them for what they are, see them for lessons, that we need to learn, and be grateful for them too. That they are showing us the way, right? But um, don't be like, oh, okay, right, like I'm just gonna. It's okay if I make a mistake and then I keep making the same mistake, right? Because we don't want to keep falling into something that is not going to help us, you know, go further into where we want to go. So I feel that's my takeaway, and I really like how Paco and Deb like portrayed it, like how they share their experience. I find that very beautiful, because I feel like when we're sharing our own experiences and how a situation help us grow, it's very powerful, and it's like you can really connect to what people are sharing. And so yeah, I'm very grateful that this was the sermon today, so we can just, keep going as a community. Yeah.
I love what you shared about like lessons and patterns. I remember, probably 20 years ago, I was waiting tables and I would always get in trouble for not asking for help when I got, what they call in the weeds. And so, I had to keep learning those lessons. I remember when I first came into the community, it took about 3 years for me finally to surrender and be like, oh, okay, maybe I do need help with this. And so I finally surrendered to support. And then keep learning that lesson. I wasn't healing as much as I wanted to, because I wasn't allowing myself to feel. And ultimately, this is like the biggest failure in my life, is like not allowing myself to feel. And my family patterns were always kind of showing me that. And so I think that for me, that's my biggest life lesson, is like giving myself permission to feel when I feel bad, when I feel guilty, when I feel, because I know for me, I use the bad feelings like guilt and shame to like punish myself. And it's not like an intentional thing, but I'm learning that, oh, okay, I can just let the shame go. I can just let the guilt go and trust my intuition, trust my feeling, trust the truth of yeah, just trust myself. And but then also recognizing, right, there's a very fine balance, recognizing when I actually need support and saying, hey, well, okay, I think I'm having a trauma here. Maybe I need to get extra support. Maybe I need to go to MAP again, and heal more through some traumas. Maybe I just need more time to process. Maybe I need a walk. Like just really, really learning to allow God into my life, and letting God kind of dictate what that is. Dictate what that is, so that I can allow myself to receive whatever support that is, and heal the lesson. So,
Yeah. Yeah, like something that Paco and Dev shared was, they said like we're not alone, and like they say like we realize that we can ask for help, that we're not alone. And I feel like that's something very, very profound. It's actually something that I felt in the latest, in the SLS that we had in Michigan. It was so beautiful, meeting with the community and like just sharing. And I remember one night, that I was just sitting, in the balcony and just feeling my feelings and thinking like, I am not alone, like this feeling like I'm not alone on like walking this path. I'm not alone, like, helping twin flames. Like I'm just not alone, right? Like, because even though, it's like a knowing, that you're not alone, but like to feel it and to like ground that in your heart, it's a whole new thing, right? It's like any healing, like you heal and then you gotta upheave, right? And ground the healing, and then that's how you move forward. So for me, that's also that I really appreciated for the sermon, that the knowing that when we ask for help, like you were saying, Kelly, like saying, we do not we prevent so much, right? Because when we're not doing that, it's kind of like we keep hitting rock bottom. We keep, you know um it's just not compassionate not to ask for help. It's not compassionate not to realize that the support is right there, and all you have to do is to ask for support. And so, when you learn to always be humble there and be like, the more support I have, the happier I'm gonna be, instead of, oh, I can do it, because that only leads you to like contrast and frustration, and you can miss out on beautiful things that God had planned for you. So I feel that, yeah, like moving from I don't need help to I embrace all the love and all the support, and I am one with the community and like the world, and like I receive all of the love for me, then we can enjoy the ride. We can enjoy the ascension journey. We can enjoy the way to harmonious twin flame union that Jerry and Shaleia have paved for all twin flames. And that's crucial, and we can enjoy life purpose, right? Like it's just I feel like it's the way to have a beautiful, nourished, abundant life. It's a key. It's key, right, to have a life of love and joy, to really, really be open to receive support and be happy. I mean, the goal is that we're in harmony, that we are in peace. Something that we always talk as unionists is that we want to help bring, heaven on earth. And that starts with us, you know, that starts within you, with your choice to embody that, and asking for help, you know, and realizing that you're not alone and that you don't need to do it alone. It's very powerful, and it helps you build that harmony. You know, at the end of the day, right, like everybody who is trying to help, everybody who's trying to, you know, have harmony, it's doing the same thing, right? Like, so we can all just be in peace. There is so much already, you know, in the world, that letting go of these fears of being, you know, together in building something or growing together, it's a beautiful breakthrough, and it's a fast track to, you know, heaven on earth. It's a fast track to success, to harmonious union, to peace, you know. So it's really something that um I always prioritize in my life, you know, like I need help, I ask for help, you know. And sometimes if I need help from myself, right, like I gotta give it to myself, right? Like if I need to take care of myself, if my body, if my soul is asking me to just lay down, I'm gonna lay down, right? Like I give my body, I give my inner child, I give myself what I need so I can keep loving others. So this is very crucial, because not only, you know, we can help the world, but we can also have a beautiful life, you know, and that's the goal. So yeah, this is crucial, definitely.
Yeah, amen. Yeah, that feels really good. What you both shared. Yeah, like support doesn't mean that, or receiving support doesn't mean like you know, you aren't good enough, right? Or anything like that. Because the thing is like, yeah, for a long time, like you were saying, Kelly, I didn't really have support in my life at all. Like I was just doing this on my own, like completely. And this was really before my spiritual awakening, right? And before like I, started actually like working on my healing. But then, yeah, there was a time where I would get support, and then, okay, I would go back to, figuring it out on my own. And it wasn't really until I found the teachings of union and my coach, who's Danny here, that I could really relax into support and like fully embrace it. And so, like, it completely is like a unique journey for everyone to get to that point where you're able to receive support and ask for support. Um, but yeah, once you do, like everything can really, I feel like, shift. And like yeah, like you guys are saying, like there's no need for, guilt or shame to be our teachers. Like I know Jeff and Shaleia say that in Twin Flame Ascension School. They teach how yeah, like pain is like the worst teacher ever. It's like not the teacher you want to choose. You want to choose the teacher of love. Um, which is really, when it comes to failures and mistakes, it's the teacher that tells you it's okay, time to make a new choice, and, step down like a new road, like start walking down a new road instead of the road where you make this mistake again. And yeah, for me, I had been running into this block for like a couple months now, and it was, you could call it a mistake or like a failure or something. And yeah, I was working through it and chipping away at it. And then yeah, literally like 2 days ago on Friday, I hit it again. And I was like, I am done trying to do this on my own. Like, I need some support for this. And I texted my coach and I was like, can we meet and like have a session? Because I just knew I had to get to the bottom of this, and that it wasn't, yeah, like it wasn't up to it. I didn't have to do it on my own, right? And so, but yeah, that took me, seeing this mistake, seeing this thing, running into this thing several times before I was finally like, okay, yeah, like time for some support. But I feel like as I grow and yeah, like as I mature, like it does get easier and easier to just like reach out right away. And of course, we have this work and we have the tools that we need to heal and to move through our upsets. But at the same time, like, support is absolutely I would say necessary for this path and for this journey, because yeah, God didn't create us to be on like a little island by ourselves. That's not the ascension path we chose. When we choose to ascend with our twin flames, we're choosing um to create a community, to create heaven on earth really here. And that means we're all in this together, we're all working together. And yeah, like, and two, like, as we all heal and as we all like hit these mistakes or hit these failures or blocks, we all overcome them. And then we share them with our community and we share them with others. And then everyone can learn from that too. So I find that really cool. Just like Paco and Deb shared their journey today, about the injury and how that led them to claim deeper support and deeper yeah, connection with the community. Like I feel yeah, that only inspires me to claim more of that for myself too. So yeah, I really enjoyed what you guys both shared.
Yeah, and like I remember, you mentioned in the session, and right after the session, you were feeling so relieved, and oh, okay, like this is it. And so I'm saying that because we gotta remind ourselves that asking for support, it's actually so extremely deeply relieving. Like it's like your soul is asking for that help, and then by you giving that, it's a relief that you experience not only in your heart but like your entire body receives that relief. And that's why we're here. That's what like these lives are for. We're here to support, to give you support on your ascension journey, because we know how relieving it feels. And because that's how love feels, when you feel relieved, you feel love. And that's the beautiful, that's the vibration that you should be at, and so it takes work, like Hannah was saying. Like sometimes we're trying to figure it out and trying to go here and there, like also like Deb was sharing in the um sermon. But once we finally surrender and we ask for the support, we can just relax. So imagine a life like that, that like instead of resisting support, we are just surrendered to the support whenever we need. It would be so easy, and that's how it should be. So I feel like if anybody who's watching this should take that away, like if you want your life to be easy and loving, despite the challenges that we all have to face, because, it's part of life, then be not afraid to ask for help, to ask for support. That doesn't mean that you're not enough. Like, Hannah was saying, I think it was Hannah who said that, or I don't know, but anyway, right? Like we're sharing this love with you guys. Like it actually means that you are aligned with God, because God is not just alone there, hanging out, right? Like God is one with everything and with everyone. So when we ask for help and support, we're actually aligning to that oneness, the one consciousness. And that's so, so powerful. And it makes a big difference. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I have the next piece here. So, one of my challenges on the journey is I've had a really hard time being honest with myself on where I was in life. Like, once like I was having a really hard time with the mirror exercise for years. And then even after I had a coach, it took me probably a couple of years with a coach, maybe even closer to 3 years with a coach before I actually got relief from the mirror exercise. Like I definitely felt my life improving because of the mirror exercise, but I felt this like deep failure in my healing because I just couldn't like surrender to actually feeling, because I like believed the lie. I believed that I wasn't lovable. I believed that I wasn't worthy of love. And I felt a lot of shame around not being able to feel. But ultimately, I must have come into this life, not feeling, not wanting to feel the truth. And then my family patterns kind of like hammered that all in because that's what I chose. And so yeah, it was deeply, deeply challenging, but I remember finally getting to the place where I could have relief in the mirror exercise. And like it just like rocked my world, because I had spent so many years like trying to heal, but I couldn't receive the love. I couldn't open my heart to it. And I just share because, my journey has been a little bit longer than I had anticipated, in, healing my union. But the truth is that every mirror exercise, every lesson, every challenge has, I healed my childhood depression. I wouldn't even admit that. I wouldn't have admitted that I had trauma as a child. I was in complete denial. And so I think that when we're in those kinds of places where we're afraid to accept help because we think we're going to be misguided, like I felt very misguided as a child. And while God the whole time was there with me, showing me what I was choosing, but I didn't understand it. I just was so lost. And so that's what I love about the teachings of union, is that even if you're lost, even if you're feeling so confused, right? You can love yourself through it. You can mirror exercise yourself through it. But I just encourage people to actually see those failures as an opportunity to heal and grow. Because ultimately, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to heal your life. It's going to be worth it, right? Because it's not about all of these external things. It's about how you like feel deep in your heart. That's what really matters. And I don't know, it's like as you heal within, it's like nothing else matters. And then you can just go out into the world fearlessly because you feel great about yourself. And it doesn't matter what people really say or think. And I'm still healing this, but I think it's important to just know that even if you're failing, to do the mirror exercise in a deep, deep way that gives you relief, just keep going. Just take the next step. Just choose to open your heart, choose to feel, choose to continue to receive the support. And just another little mind alignment process plug here, because I think I've gone through MAP like 4 times, and I'm a person that would have, like 5 years ago, I would have been like, I didn't have any trauma, like had no idea, because there was nothing, like I don't have sexual trauma, I don't have anything, but I had very like consistent patterns of people like putting me down and minimizing my divinity, and just like a lot of minimizing, which of course I'm healing within myself now. But yeah, just keep going. What's that next step for you to help you move through whatever life is showing you? Yeah.
That's so beautiful, Kelly. Thank you so much for sharing, and being vulnerable. That's it, that's the power of love right there. Um, I think that what you are really showing everyone with your experience here is that it is so important too to have so much compassion, for ourselves, which is, I think Deb said also that in the sermon, right? Like to have the most delicate, gentle compassion in our journey, because it might be that somebody who's watching this feels like you, right? Or felt like you, that it was no matter what, they couldn't feel completely free, and they were trapped in this mindset of I'm okay, right? I don't, or denial, and then but they are not actually okay, right? And so to have the courage to keep chopping wood and carrying water and to keep going and keep persisting, that's something to respect, And so yeah, like just keep going, no matter what's going on, never give up, because you are gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel, whether it's sooner, whether it's later, whenever that is, it's there, and you have to go through the fears, the darkness, that it's there. But when you go through it with love, then everything changes, and you start planting a seed of love, and you start cultivating this beautiful garden, this beautiful paradise of heaven within you. And that starts blossoming into your life, inside and outside. That's how you create your reality. And so I think that you are a great example of that right now, Kelly. Like, I just kept going. If I needed to go through map again, I did it. If I persisted with my coach, like, I just kept going. And now you can share, from now that you've crossed to the other side, even though you're still healing, now you see that it was worth it, that in your hardest times, you didn't give up, you know because I feel like that's a big lesson of this sermon too. You ask for help, you ask for support, and you persisted no matter what, no matter how confused you might have felt, no matter how lost, no matter how denial, you felt, you just kept going. And I feel that that's something that I've experienced in my life too, like, not necessarily denying something, but feeling like I don't think this is never going to change, but I'm just going to keep going, because there is no, like, I'm not going back, I'm not quitting, I'm not giving up, and I'm just going to keep going. And recognizing that the challenge, if it's painful, then I need a lot of self-care, I need a lot of compassion for myself, but never look back, never give up. So I feel like that is it's a beautiful message, to give to everyone watching, like, um your beautiful harmonious union with God, yourself, your twin flame is for you. And all the lessons that you receive every week in every sermon are here to support you. And these lives, I think they are so incredibly powerful, and there is so much joy and there is so much support here that, anybody who's watching is really allowing themselves to receive that juicy love, because we're worthy of it. We're worthy of being loved and supported in our journey, and that's what this community is about. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, you guys are just sharing divine wisdom all over the place. I love it. It feels really good. And yeah, like what you both just shared, it really reminded me that of like the saying that like God never gives us more than we can handle, and how yeah, like our lessons and our challenges, like they're created almost like very specifically just for us, right? Because we're the one that's able to heal this, and we're the one that's meant to move through this, and yeah, and to overcome it. And yeah, that always brings me so much comfort to know like that, no matter what I face, it's perfect for me, right? Like it's exactly what I needed um to get to where I am today, and to get to where I'm going tomorrow and the next day, and all the way to eternity, to what's to come. And it's really beautiful in that way, because then we kind of can look at life and be like, oh, like, my mistakes, my failures, they weren't even mistakes and failures at all. They were simply like just checkpoints on my journey to getting to where I was meant to go. Um, and yeah, like at the end of the day, their only mistakes and failures is if you don't learn anything from them, and if you don't use them to fuel your next chapter of life, and to fuel your dreams and where you're going. And yeah, like it's really safe to learn and to move through those challenges. And like, I just saw this reel the other day someone had posted, and it was someone giving a speech about how we're all called to do something with our lives, right? And she goes on to list all of these people, like Dr. Seuss, who was like denied by like 27 publishers before he sold his first book. And like Walt Disney was denied by over 300 banks before someone believed in his dream for Walt Disney World. And yeah, like imagine if they took those failures and just like gave up. They're like, oh, I'm a failure, I'm giving up now. But no, they use that to fuel their story and their journey, and that's exactly what we can do too. Um, no matter how old we are, no matter where we're at, we have like a calling, and we have like a purpose, you know, a life purpose to live here on earth and to share with the world. And yeah, and the way to living that and embodying that is by really like surrendering to the journey, to the healing, claiming support for yourself, and never giving up, right? Like never, ever, ever giving up on that dream that you have in your heart. Because yeah, it's meant to come true.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and I feel like, if you feel alone, if you are struggling and you're watching this, God is right there. And God is, oh, you just have to reach out and God will talk to you. God will direct you exactly where you need to go so you can get that support and that help. Like now, right now you're watching this, and I'm sure this is helping you, and so, yeah, and then God will take you to your next step, and that is going to help you. So, yeah, look for that help, look for that support. Remember that God is always there. We just have to reach out. And this community is here to support you and love you. The our community is, we're just people who want to have self growth, and we want to learn all the lessons that we can through the twin flame journey. So you are safe and you are loved. So yeah, I feel complete with that.
Yeah, this is so beautiful, you guys. So beautiful. And I just know for all of the challenges, like all the times that I would be at my lowest and feeling like a failure, I would really tune into myself and really like ask God, and like just in my own way, because at that time I wasn't like asking God, but I would just really tune into myself. And I was always led back to my healing with Twin Flames Universe. And so I just encourage you all to really tune into yourself. How do you feel? Like get to know the community and really be discerning for yourself, because ultimately you're having this experience with you and yourself and source God, right? And so just really do that soul searching and see where you're guided, because I know for myself, in my highest alignment, I always circle back to Twin Flames Universe and the teachings of union. Um, and I don't, it's just like divinely orchestrated that I'm here. And likely for you as well, those of you who are home watching. So yeah, this feels fairly complete. Hannah, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
Yeah, that feels really good. I completely agree. Like, you can trust that you were guided here, and that the support here is for you, and it's safe to claim that for yourself. It is safe to claim support, and um, yeah, to never let the failures and the mistakes, hold you back, because we all make them, and it's okay. It's safe to learn and it's safe to grow. Feels good.
I love that. Thank you. All right, everyone, have a beautiful Sunday and a beautiful week. And thank you all for being here. What a gift. What an honor. Thank you all.